information emerges about missing flight MH370. Malaysian Prime Minister Najib Razak has confirmed the plane's communications were disabled just before it reached the east coast of the Malaysian peninsula. He says it's consistent with deliberate action by someone on board, but is reluctant to confirm a hijacking without further investigation.
But shortly after that, the plane disappeared. They have never found any of the wreckage or any of the parts. There's been different claims that they found like different pieces of wreckage and stuff, but then there's other videos and people talking about how it wasn't even in the right area where it would have landed and stuff. They've never found anything conclusive about anything, any evidence of anything. So it's been a mystery, like I said, for the last while since it happened. A lot of people were confused. They didn't know what the fuck happened, and they haven't really been able to come back with any hard evidence of anything. Except for now, there's been some strange videos that have come out, and different things that have been leaked. Kind of important to note, on that flight, like I said, they were going to China, and there was a lot of, there was a big mix of different cultures and people from different places, but there was a lot of Chinese people on that flight. A lot of like 3 generations of Chinese people, like Chinese families and stuff. And some of them were like calligraphers and like artists, and some of them were even like ex vice presidents of ex coal and energy companies, like a really big energy company out of China and stuff. Okay, there was one person that got on the flight with a forged passport, and there was 2 people that got on the flight with stolen passports, claiming to be the people on the passports. Those people who they were claiming to be never actually got on the flight, but the people that stole the passports and got on the flight were Iranians. 2 males. One was like in his 30s, I think the other one was like 18. His name is Ashton Forbes, and he's done a deep dive on a lot of this stuff and kind of brought it all to the surface.
Sierra Nevada Corporation's Intelligence, Surveillance, and Reconnaissance Division developed Gorgon Stare in response to an urgent Department of Defense need for a real-time surveillance system. Wide Area Airborne Persistent Surveillance, or WAPS, is the ability to continually observe a large area from an airborne platform. Capable of watching a city-sized area 24 hours a day for an unlimited amount of time, the system's electro-optical and infrared sensors capture all activity without interruption in the field of view both day and night. An Air Force MQ-9 Reaper remotely piloted aircraft equipped with the Gorgon Stare system observes a potential threat, revealing its story, its secrets, its intent.
Okay, so as you can see there, it's basically like a drone that does like an aerial surveillance and kind of circles the area, and it's able to capture all of this footage and give like really detailed analysis of surveillance. There's another orb, and there's another orb, and they start circling around and doing this really weird pattern all around this plane. And they keep going. Just doing this weird formation. And then, boop. It's gone.
But what it means there is that they are actually changing the physical properties of not the plane, but the space-time around the plane. Change the physical properties of the space-time around the plane through this extremely powerful electromagnetic interaction in the region around the plane. And what this does is it changes the refractive index. And in the Einstein's equations, this is exactly what we need for negative energy. Flips the refractive index, boom, you've just created negative energy. The atom, its ground state, remember we're sitting on top of this ocean of energy, it goes like this. So what this is we're gaining this amount of energy, but it's negative energy because it's going down. So the ground state drops. So you can imagine this conceptually as the space-time shrinking down. The space-time is actually shrinking down.
The first question, is it real? I don't know. I don't have the provenance for it. The second question is yes, because that capability, I think it's an Einstein-Rosen bridge is what they're doing, if you want to look that up. And we have a scientist on our team who's worked at a very senior NSA and corporate level who has said it is real, and it was an Einstein-Rosen bridge, and it was man-made, and it was a test.
So that's pretty crazy.